YouTube land. If you're a regular to this channel, uh, Happy New Year. If you're new, Happy New Year as well. This little episode is about. I'm sorry it's so dark. I can't really help that. But let me see, will this help? Not really. That don't help at all. That's counterintuitive. But let's see if this will help for a little bit. So, this little episode is to help new people into getting into tactical or home defense gear. Let me give you an example, and I appreciate you dealing with the patients and stuff. Let's say, you know how everything has been going so crazy lately, right? Let me give you a recap, stretching back to late November 2024. Today is the middle of January 2025. Since the late last year to now, we've had abundance of illegal migrant crime, really horrific terrorist attacks in the New York subway. We've had suspicious drones flying all over the USA. We had some weird mist that was like sticky and like kind of gave off an organic substance type of thing that gave rise to uh, conspiracy theories regarding weather manipulation technology, and that was in the lower southern eastern states of the USA. Then in early January, we have the most horrific or the most record breaking wildfires in California history, that even in possibly USA, in LA, Los Angeles, California. And if you go back beyond that, we had all these COVID shutdowns, and I'm look like I'm going to high speed police chase. No, hey, how you guys doing? This video is about how to get into cheap things to defend your house and whatnot. I don't mean to want to be uh, tactical Sasquatch commando. I do security on a pretty you would say pretty serious level. It's not a flex, you guys. I originally wanted to be kind of like a hippie music playing person. I never thought I was gonna own firearms or the like, uh, uh, and I was pretty oblivious to the conservative plight of things. But the older I got, things changed, and security was the only job biting, and I had to give up a life of going to concerts and having fun and hanging out with rock and roll cougars or whatever, and I had to start sacrificing every holiday and weekend, whatnot, for going like the past 11 years now. And whatever, I'm happy to have a job, and I take some pride in it. I look pretty disheveled. The kind of security I do, you're kind of out in the middle of the desert, guarding precarious things. It's pretty laid back. It's only been pretty like having suspicious traffic or whatever, like maybe 2 years ago. It's cleared out pretty good. They know people are here, whatever. So it's kind of like camping out and guarding important stuff, and good for me, right? I wanted to be a sheet metal welder and go see 80s rock concerts, but that went out the window. But I'm happy to be employed. And if you guys want to hear if you guys are very new, there's a bunch of channels better than this. I could take time to recommend it, but if you're on a budget, say that you have a family to protect, property to protect, what have you, I know how you can bypass a lot of spending hours YouTubing or trying to Google a question that won't get answered correctly, about how the most fastest way to get gear or products that are relatively easy to attain. What I mean by that is, say you're into hunting knives like me. I'm pretty sure there's an independent collector, an independent maker out there that makes like the best knives in the world, but that's not always available on Amazon or whatever. So you're gonna have to go with a company like Cold Steel or Spyderco. You get the point, guys. So what is the best for what job? You get the point. So I've been at this kind of thing for a few years, and pardon me, I'm gonna read some questions or comments. I have to go back and forth. I have to close this shed, and I have to go secure or patrol or watch a surveillance screen, and I'm pacifying the time on a Saturday doing this. So let me answer a couple questions or comments, and I gotta be back and forth, so it's a boring video. So let me try to read what you're saying. Anyways, have a good night. I mean, greetings or whatever. No, boss, I'm not an assassin or whatever. The older you get, you just kind of get groggy. So I sound like a groggy ass freaking a groggy ass person or something like that. And no, man, uh, smartphones and YouTube and all that. It kind of fascinates me. My generation didn't have these things, so we kind of get our kicks by it. And hey, kudos to YouTube. Because of YouTube, you can learn a lot of good shit, like things that your dads or absentee dads or whatever lack of uh, pertinent father figures all of us grew up with. You can relatively supplement what they possibly don't have enough years in their lifetime to know to help you out with, or time, and find out those answers on YouTube. It helps. But out of everything, hands-on experience is the best thing. So that's why before I go, for example, I'm going to show things like this. One of the most cheapest and best weapons you could get. That's a firearm. This is a Mossberg Maverick 88. Okay, so I always do this with it, and you should rack it pretty hard. Nothing flung out. I put my pinky and I check the chamber. There's nothing in there. So you can obviously dry fire it. Muzzle discipline. Don't ever point this at something you're not willing to. Out of respect, I'm never going to point this at you. Say you're really standing right there. It's going to be up or out of the way. Like, I got a lot of shit on me, so I'm not used to this. I kind of had to readjust. But anyways, what is this? This is a dummy shell. Dummy shell, clear, check, clear. So top load, in, rack, boom, right here, dry fire. So little shit like that you guys can practice, And I can tell you the pros and cons about it. The way I have this rigged up is, if you had an intruder come out of nowhere in your house, if you grab this is ready to go, and you don't have to grab anything else like an ammo pack or a vest or whatever to hold extra gear or ammo. It has a flashlight. I don't want to shine more light in here, kind of be conspicuous or whatever. It has a flashlight on the end of it, and so you can clear shit out, And a lot of shit that we can get into is like tactics, Say this is a wall, right? So you don't want to just walk over the wall. There's like techniques they got where you'll flash the light first and then kind of come back and see how they respond, and hopefully shoot at nothing. And you always have to like announce, be like, hey, douchebag, drop your stupid shit, fucking run while you can. I don't want the paperwork. What else have you read? No, I'm not an assassin, boss. But let me get back to. I have to go. Probably back in like 5 minutes or less, guys. So don't mean to bore you. Yeah, everything's pretty clear, guys. So one thing about gun owner safety is you never want to leave your weapon precariously unlocked. I had to lock this place. You never want to leave it precariously just there, accessible to steal or to use, or God forbid, a juvenile to get a hold of it, you guys. So, as a weapons owner, know that you're going to need gun safes or somewhere to lock it. That would make it even hard for you to get a hold of it if you were to lose the key and all that, you know. So, but if you're still following this, if I had to start all over and I needed home defense real quick, I would get the Mossberg Maverick 88. All this apparatus here that I had to go kind of get lucky to find and whatnot. It has a bandolier full of shells, and there's a pro and con to that. The con is many. You can end up dropping the ammo. You can end up what's that? Not just dropping it, but it makes it heavy. It makes it heavy and bulky, and you can't really use the bandolier for what it's for. Like if I were to just throw this over my shoulder, for all I know, it's gonna drop like 2 shells on the ground. But if I had to grab this for my home defense in a hurry, it's already good to go. It has everything on it. And Maverick 88 is pretty light as it is. So, I mean, this is as heavy now. It's heavier than the very top end, which is like a Maverick 590. I mean, Mossberg 590, Remington 870. But if you're just getting the starters, they proved, you can look this up on YouTube. I can find a video for you if you want to comment and ask. For as far as I can see the comments or get notified or have time, the videos really show that this is virtually indestructible for the price. Mossberg Maverick 88s. I like this better than a Glock, and I just might have that too. But I really, now the way I would rig this up, I need to start changing this out. This has a lot of like rifled slugs, and this has a lot of buckshot, double aught. But we live in a day and age where if China attacks us with drones, if you have precarious land, property, persons to protect, and you want to defend them, right? You want to defend them against drone attack. Someone has drones, they want to attack you, terrorists, hijackers of all sorts, or persons who just mischievously and nefariously can override codes, or they are from different lands and they're up to something and some terrorist organization put them up to it, or whatever is domestic terrorism, whatever. Drones are a scary thing to me, and one thing that's been notable or purported, especially from the Ukrainian and Russian conflict, is that shotguns still have their place on the battlefield against such things as drones. And I heard the best for drones would be a full choked barrel with bird shot. What size of bird shot, I'm not sure, but that sounds like a plan. And one thing that you can't have it all, you can't have your cake and eat it too. If you have the kind of barrels that will make you more confident to take on drones, you're gonna have to take them on anyway in a life or death situation, but you can get more reach, more accuracy from a better range that you would feel safer against such drones that have been known to have been killing people, namely the people who are on the side of the former Soviets involved in the current conflict in Ukraine circa early 2025. The Ukraine and Russia war, as everybody knows, is going on. Shotguns have shown that they are still a place on the battlefield. Now, not just trench dusters and for door breaching, but they also can combat drones. And purportedly, you want it for that job, you want a full choked barrel with birdshot. What size birdshot? You might have to Google it. I might have to upgrade This Mossberg Maverick 88 actually is the security model. You probably already know that. It's a 20-inch barrel, so it can fit 8 total. That's like 7 plus 1 of your average size, commonly used shells. And again, if you're just tuning in, I'm giving advice because the world's gone mad, right? I do security, like freelance, whatever. I'm not trying to be Rambo. I'm bored. I just want to, like, if YouTube and the internet doesn't have some kind of cyber EMP meltdown somewhere in the future, I like to look back and see what I was doing to pacify a Saturday night. So, hi, welcome to the channel, and this is Mossberg Maverick 88, and we're talking about tactical gear for people who are just getting into tactical gear. Because if you're like me and you get called a conspiracy theorist or whatever, if you've been following the right side of media, you know that we are kind of on the precipice of a lot of global changes that are always tumultuous and could cause calamity. So repeat, guys, as of late December, they'll give you a little history lesson. I like history. Late last year, 2024. Since then, we've had a lot of very horrific terrorist attacks from migrant crime, namely in New York City. Then we had all these scary drones being mistaken for UFOs, being flown all over the country. Way earlier the same year, we had that China balloon that got to traverse all over the country unabated or something. And purportedly, there's lots of migrant crime, and we are precariously under regimes that want to take out or get rid of our constitutional rights to bear arms. And if you are new to that game and you are want the best for your family and you understand where I'm going with the flow, you might want to defend yourself. So this is just a channel that's kind of dedicated getting the average beginner into things that took me a lot of, like, throwing money on the ground, researching what was a better tool or whatnot, to get into this position of being all like, tactical custodian like you see before you. But yeah, boss, I take pride in my job. And so after the turn of the new year, after those scary ass drones, we had the worst wildfires in LA. And we have looting, people looting houses. And so now this is like 2 days before President Trump may be inaugurated, hopefully, God willing, inaugurated into the White House. We have all this upheaval, like we have all these protest marches, people wanting him to be assassinated during his inauguration, in so much that him, proven to be brave and standing against bullets or whatnot, still wants to have his inauguration indoors, which is understandable because he's selfless like that, and he doesn't want to have people in the crowd also shot, like what happened sometime last year, 2024, when President Trump was nearly killed by being grazed by a bullet, and all the conspiracies and the cover-ups that ensue thereof. So without any further ado, guys, if all these people are right, and we may be on the precipice of civil upheaval, and they might be global economic shutdowns, inflation, and the like, may be a good time to save water and canned food. Okay, guys? Not only do you want to save water and canned food, get these containers that are, 5-7 gallon GMO free things, because they for some reason protect the water against sunlight, and sunlight can make water, direct sunlight for some reason will make regular plastic bottled water go bad in time. I don't know why. You can look up a bunch of water purification techniques, and they have made these straw, like Sawyer minis. Sawyer, that's SAW, like a saw. YER, what's that? That would be YER. I forget my phonetics. I forget what Echo and Romero or something. Robert Young, and I forget, whatever. But I saw your minis. They make these straws that are supposedly the best in the business in case you'd ever have to drink water from like a stream. Keep in mind, guys, that if you are trying to purify water, you can always kill the bacteria, but you can't take out chemical pollutants from it. So watch out what water sources you're getting from. Also, along with your canned food of what I like, regular old pork and beans, don't forget to pack canned food of like namely fruits. It's your best bet. Vegetables, I'm sure you want something that's going to stave off. You want something that's going to stave off scurvy or get rid of scurvy. Pirates used to sail on the ocean, and they would get scurvy until they used to carry lemons with them. People would go on voyages, pirates or sailors, whatever, long time ago, like 1700s and give or take, and people would go on voyages and end up coming back looking like meth addicts, looking like 50 years old at the age of like 28 or 35, if people even lived that long back then. You get the point. Because of getting scurvy for going so long without vitamin C, you need vitamin C. You will look demonic without it. So with all your canned food getting, just remember you don't want to just get like, tasty chili and ravioli. You want to watch out for things that'll induce too much thirst, but at the same time, you're still gonna need regular food, because that minerals, salt is a mineral. Survival and hiking and bug out, they cost so much calories and sweat. Pretty sure you're gonna need salt and water, and that's just extra stuff to carry. And it seems a paradox or an oxymoric endeavor that all that activity from shit hitting the fan scenario is going to induce thirst and everything at the same time. Carrying sufficient water on your person's gonna make you tired. It's just another form of nature wants to whoop your ass. So I don't know if you're still following me, guys. I can't really see. I was hoping the light would be brighter. I have to lock this shed. I have to go and watch the surveillance one more time, because it's part of my job. So if you're still here by then, might be 5 minutes, might be 10 minutes, it might be right back. But I have to lock this because it has precarious items, and I will be back. And we are back. This is your straight to the point forward independent news source that refers you to even better and more renowned world sources of honest integrity or intent as much. And welcome to my channel, guys. This episode is about surviving the apocalypse as usual, and current updates according to a person that has a lot of time to absorb like 6:40 a.m. radio type of things all night long, like at least six days a week. And after a while, you start just growing a tinfoil hat and you start absorbing all this world knowledge about, esoteric aliens and ancient aliens. And I'm here to fill you guys in who are too busy to go down those rabbit holes about what is going on in current politics. And if you stay tuned, I'm going to refer you to even better channels real quick on my list that's right before me on the floor. But real quick, hear me out, guys. As a California resident, excuse me, I have kind of like neck issues, so I kind of fidget a lot with another wrestling team and whatever. So, as a California resident since 1988, by the way, this is a Maverick 88 by Mossberg, my favorite survival tool of all of mankind, second favorite. I'll show you the first and the second if you want. Nothing's nefarious here, nothing's loaded, everything is, I'm doing what a better channel than me prescribed to do, and to periodically check your survival gear. So I'm here to assess my weaponage or artillery in case of terrorist drone attacks, because you might think I'm crazy, a conspiracy theorist, paranoid, or I'm like one of those crazy preppers that are hoping doomsday happens. But I'm somewhere in the middle, and I come from San Bernardino, California, where it's like The Hills Have Eyes, Mad Max, and Book of Eli every day. So that's why, and then people don't think I'm that hood or ghetto, because I'm like half literate and somewhat sentient and coherent, and on the usually right side of politics. So no, I never really fit in there. I just kept to myself, and luckily I'm on the freeway most of the time. And no, I'm not a state trooper or nothing like that, guys. I'm basically independent security guard. If you have this is my job. I don't mean to flex or whatever. Again, I don't. I'm just a tactical custodian, and I really wanted to be like a badass, like like buff biker Jesus looking, freaking heavy metal like little cougar hunter, and getting weekends off and doing like sheet metal welding for a job. Didn't work out like that. Got into security, and nobody else wants to come out here and live like a lighthouse, like a, those lighthouses on rocky seas. No one wants to live like that. So here I am, and I'm like, I'll do it. So God bless it, thank God. So anyways, and everything's really kicked back now. 2 years ago was worse. Right now it's cool, thank God. So anyways, back to the topic. What else has been going on? So California, please hear me out about the theories, about the fires, about the arson, the evident arson, apparent arson. So we have a bunch of these conspiracy theorists, they get cancel cultured, flack, and all this shade on YouTube and whatnot, and they sound crazy, they sound more tinfoil hat than me. And they're talking about how a lot of these incidences where we've had near misses, near assassinations, or odd weather that's blamed on global warming, or insurance companies that cancel their thing right before catastrophe happens. And again, people will blame this on climate change. People will blame this on like the Mayan prophecy of like 2012, the world was supposed to end. You get the point. So with all that craziness going on, people miss the point that it's been noted that weather manipulation technology, namely proprieted or pursued after from Bill Gates, has been documented to exist. I mean, they've been doing cloud seeding since planes had propellers, right? So you get the point. I'm kind of like being aware of putting your head on a swivel, being aware of my surroundings. So you have that going on, and again, guys, I lose my train of thought really frequently when shit like that happens, hearing crazy noises, or just losing a lot of sleep. And I've dealt with a lot of concussions when I was a kid. So pardon me, like I get really sidetracked, kind of forget what I'm talking about. But all in all, right now, this is a day or two before the new inauguration, and with everything going on with like the crazy drones and the frequent terrorist attacks, and all the media blaming everything on one another. The fires, back to the point, the fires. Okay, you guys, so I gotta go watch Surveillance real quick again. But I've been living as like a latchkey kid in Southern California during like Generation X times, before cell phones and lots of surveillance around the corner. And I've seen how like when people would get jumped or stabbed or whatever, like emergency personnel took a long time to show up because it's not like nowadays. Nowadays, you have a cell phone, the Zodiac killer is coming up and creeping up on you and your girl, but you're on a cell phone and you're zooming your mom. The Zodiac killer is going to be more hesitant to go fuck with you. Back in the late 20th century, shit like that just popped off, was more reoccurrent. There wasn't cell phones or Karens. If you were bleeding out on the sidewalk, there'd be a long time to a good Samaritan gives a shit to get involved, because everybody, the first thing they're gonna think when whoever's getting stomped out or stabbed on the ground, the first thing you think of is, oh shit, I don't want to get involved. I want to look the other way because I don't know if that person owed money, is a drug addict, is a chomo, is that's their problem. That your first instinct is like, oh, I live in the hood, they gotta handle their business. Like maybe he did him dirty. Like I remember taking the whole, it's like the whole neighborhood, the small apartment. It's small apartments, a lot of them. You get what I mean. Everybody's beating up some dude on the floor, man, and he keeps getting up and tripping all over himself, and he falls in the floor. He falls in the middle of the street like this. When if a car was like 10 seconds, maybe 5 seconds ahead of schedule, would have ran over his head. I was lifting a lot of weights back then. He was a really big dude. I wanted to show off. I approached the guy. I picked him up like a deadlift. This is kind of dick, man. But I went like this. And I threw him back on the sidewalk, and he's flipping me off. And I said something like, I just like saved your life, idiot, even though that's barely doing anything for the guy. But I don't know. My first instinct was thinking, I mean, dude, you had like Mexican moms with fat Mexican moms with chanclas, like coming after this dude with those things that roll dough or something, freaking hitting him in the head, dude. Everybody was taking pot shots at this guy. We're talking about like kids, regular dudes, freaking. So the first thing I thought of is like, oh, they're beating Richard Ramirez's ass. They're beating the Night Stalker's ass. I'm not. I don't want to. I'm new to the neighborhood. I don't want to fucking get involved. So what I'm trying to say is if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you're the wrong demographic amongst the wrong people. You got caught slipping. You're in. It's just not your day. If you get lit on fire, we've seen from the New York tragedies that all people are going to do is take their cell phone out and film you screaming to death while security or cops just walk in circles and contain the scene. I gotta go look at Surveillance, guys. I'll be right back, okay? And I promise to relay better channels in this one, but I gotta show that I give a shit about looking at Surveillance. yeah, fellas, I appreciate your patronage. It would be improper for me to take my phone and take you guys on a tour of the operations here and what I'm guarding and procedures of how I clear and patrol things like that. It would be improper for me to come take you along on a journey like that. Your dog's barking. Maybe they shut up, or maybe I'm just tripping out because I have like these earmuffs on. The desert gets cold, and there are these earmuffs on that keep your head warm, and they give music if you want. Because you can call us Californians like little girls, but we're weaker against the cold because California has bipolar weather. It'll be like 70, 90 if you live where I'm at or work where I'm at. It's going to be like 110 inside your rotting car, like 100 fucking, like for a long time, like through the fall. And then it'll drop that down. It'll always drop down like literally up to 40 degrees during the night at certain times, depending on what year, the time of year, you get the point, right? So otherwise, I wish I could take you guys on like a little tour and stuff like that. But what was I coming back here? I was going to say something that was kind of pertinent and oh yeah, just one of the coolest places I worked at that didn't pay diddly squat. That company paid me to drive to guard this one place where rats would go inside your engine and try to eat the wiring or whatever they do. When it wasn't that time of season, it was a kind of adventurous job, and I don't really want to relay the exact position or whatever, but it was somewhere they spilled jet fuel, and it was just a bunch of hills and stuff like that. A lot of places was hard to get reception, but that was very adventurous. And I remember working for very unprofessional private security companies that didn't know how precarious things were, and they would wise up about how precarious or dangerous some of the procedures they requested us to do for patrols or something like that was. But I remember at the time I was filming it, and I was showing my dad that they wanted me for very little money. This was an unarmed position, not armed, to clear these abandoned buildings that probably had full of asbestos or some kind of demonic meth head freaking finally sleeping and crashing out in it, And if I was still there, I would show you guys my procedure, what to do. Like, do I have a flashlight on me? So you walk by, and this is a Nebo flashlight, but it's a cheaper ones you buy at Big Five and not like Sportman's Warehouse. Nebo flashlights, they're pretty powerful for being small. I would walk up to the building, I would grab a rock, and I would throw it in there, like skip, ba ba ba, right? Because I want to hear the tussling and rustling of a homeless person going, and hearing them get up from whatever they're doing and move a sleeping bag around or move debris around. It was like these buildings that a long time ago jet fuel spilled somewhere. I don't know. I guess it was government property, and all these little bunkers or shacks were full of just broken shit and things all over the ground and litter and whatever. So I come here, like throw the rock in there, hey, hello, blah, blah, blah. This is security, nobody's in trouble, just a welfare check, making sure everybody's okay, stuff like that. Even though that you might have a Karens or superiors, or usually the superior who's a client, meaning like they're not your security boss. They were never the army. They were never affiliated with law enforcement. They're not even affiliated with a security company. They're just the people you guard that's paying the people who pay you to tell you what to do. And they don't really know that you're not a cop, or there's procedures and de-escalation. You can't antagonize anything, and that it's really hard that if you get injured, that the retaliation procedures, escalation of force, all that kind of shit, which can get you in trouble, especially in a non-standard ground state, such as where I live, purportedly. And these are all things to consider when you have to when you have to defend your life for somebody else's. which leads me to like a philosophy lesson, guys. Okay, as men, look, when I was like kind of going through a family man stage, and I had a domestic life and a chick at home and whatever. I was like basically reading or absorbing information about as men in our society nowadays, when things become very dire and you really have to stand up to life or death situation, you are like a musket. You are like a bumblebee. That sounds silly as shit, right? A musket only fires one bullet at a time before you have to reload it and go through a bunch of procedures. A hornet or a bumblebee, if it stings you, it loses a huge chunk of its body and it passes away and it dies. Okay, as men, if anybody, God forbid, put their hands on your kids, your wife, you had to defend your life, your pride, your honor, your dwelling, your health, road rage, home invasion, all sudden disrespect on your woman out of nowhere, and you have to really answer the call and stand up for your manhood. You might still find yourself being prosecuted and now getting some kind of assault or what's that called, aggravated, whatever. And now you're going to get a high misdemeanor or a felony. You're going to get your car towed. You're going to lose time at work. You're going to go to a cell and they're going to make you go to work. You're going to have to defend your race, or you're going to have to do push-ups or tattoos and get some shit. Then you'll never get a job. Dude. A lot of felons have a hard time getting steady work. When they get out, it's a social scar. No one wants to hear you out. No gentrified employer is going to hear you out. Then no one's going to really stop and hear like, oh, I got up after that dude put his hands on my wife's ass and I knocked him out. You might get a prosecutor that tells you, well, the imminent threat was over and you should have just called us to file out a report so that he can get a slap on the wrist and come back and do it to somebody else. We have ass backwards rules. We're not allowed to be men anymore. You're not allowed to defend your honor. I've seen it before. And some men go AWOL or they go MGTOW. And that's the problems we have in our nation nowadays. Congratulations, Western culture that I love. And let me read some comments and start making it a wrap and go drink some coffee, guys. And if you like this episode, I don't care about any money from YouTube. Just comment, follow, ask questions and shit. Just whatever, So without further ado, I'm gonna answer some questions, and then I'm gonna prescribe other badass channels that'll totally lace you up and red pill you on some woke ass shit, eh? So here, let me see what the fuck people are saying. No, I'm not an assassin. You have a Glock. I have a 17. I have two of them. Oh, badass, bro. Yeah, man. I bet. I hope you're still here. If you want to be mentioned, I don't mention anybody. If you want to, like, a shout out to you guys, just make some stupid funny emoji, like a little cat or a fucking star or some shit. Otherwise, I'm going to respect your property and just answer the question, not really call anybody out directly. So maybe that's, you don't want to be immortalized on my crazy ass channel because I could be subversive. So, hey, badass, man. I bet you're more badass with Glocks and shit than me. I live in California. I did like sport specific martial arts my whole life, and then I was lucky enough to get a pretty considerably serious arm position just a few years ago. And it's not like I'm making a killing of money. It's just like a lot of other people don't want to drive out here, so it's steady work. I was doing a lot of other security where you're acquiescing or faking to oblige to a lot of gentrification, Nazi ass Karens to do things that aren't like. One time I got the security position they stuck me with because they're giving their relatives or whatever better sites, and it was like pool monitoring, like an apartment. Like, dude, I'm like a big dude and so yeah, I don't want to look at fucking half naked people for a job, dude. That's fucking awkward. That's an easy reason to get. That's an easy reason for someone if they don't like you or you kick them out to start making false allegations. So I quit that shit immediately. What the fuck was I saying was even worse than that shit? Oh man, so like I'm supposedly a big tough guy or whatever. I was born an ogre, guys. I'm not even trying to be tough. I was expected to be a fucking ogre. So I remember my ogre ass, I'm like, me and my friends at the time, dude, we were like more fit and like physically formidable because of this fucking real men have to eat a cup of noodles to fucking work at a job they hate to take care of kids. We're spoiled, dude. Go to the gym all the fucking time for free and shit, man. We're pretty badass, dude. We're fucking damn near world class fucking fit, dude. And I gotta go. This my big barbaric ass has to go evict some loiterer at Denny's, which was like some poor old woman, dude. Like a poor old woman, that's somebody's mom, dude. And all these gentrified fucking bourgeois ass people don't want to see a poor people that Jesus told them to take care of. So I had to tell her to go fuck off and die somewhere else. And that was like a fucking really shameful thing. What the fuck else sucked, dude? So when I that coupled with another fucking long story is the reason why I just started saying yes to a lot of I don't know, precarious posts. So yeah, good for me, dude. Who cares? Job's a job, man. Honestly, I think like mechanics and like welding and I'm pretty sure carpentry way fucking harder, way the fuck harder for shit that I'm doing, like the kind of shit I'm doing, man. So when we have to like kiss authority ass, man, I kind of I'm a little bit more libertarian to think like that, you know. And the fuck else was I saying though? But so all you blue collar heroes out there that I once was, you guys deserve weekends off. You deserve to look like buff biker Jesus with tattoos all over up to your face and shit like that. But I had to get in security and I had to do a completely lifestyle change, and it wasn't fun at first. I finally accepted that shit. So yeah, whatever. Good for me. So anyways, guys, I'm about to wrap this shit up. And so someone said about Glock 19, badass. I'm more into 17. I only care. I'm not. There's a lot of tactical shit better than me. I only care about Glock and Mossberg, honestly, guys. I'm not that very. Uh, the 12 gauge has such a fucking versatile existence. Now it can even deflect drones and shit. I mean, come on, dude. What's not to love? But we need the Second Amendment, not infringe at all, and we need badass motherfuckers down for freedom with AKs, because remember, as it has been stated, the Second Amendment does not protect the the Armalite. Actually, the Armalite protects the Second Amendment. Boom. Oh, right. Own, right? Point for us. So, as for other big, better survival and tactical channels, right? This is a tangent. The best storytelling channels, Mr. Mr. Ballin, like B. Allen. Everybody knew that. That's the best storytelling channel. I really like LV Nation. LV, what's that? Lima Victor Nation. One of the best guys who's like he's very theological. That might not be your red pill, but he has some really good videos about conspiracies, like an Alex Jones type of cat. Is Jay Dyer. John Bravo's funny. He was trying to beat up some bully. Jesse on Fire is a really good independent news source. Survival Dispatch is excellent. I think underrated. This should be way more, far more famous. Let me get this over. Dr. Todd Grande is a pretty badass analyst. Hampton, if you're a Second Amendment guy, you like to carry and all that. If you're anybody who believes in freedom, or you're just watch Hampton with an H. Hampton Law, excellent guy. That guy's a hero. Hampton Law. Benny Johnson is really good. Mike Glover is a really good dude. Michael Knowles. excuse me, for tactical or survival, actually survival on purpose. Wild Suburbia. This guy talks about how it is in the Russian side of things right now, and is really good. Metatron is a really good dude if you're into like classic medieval stuff. um, if you like really crazy conspiracy theories, Jimmy Akin. If you have a Catholic background, Dr. Taylor Marshall is a really good conservative news source. Jacob B. Peterson is a really good all around. 411 Outdoors LLC is pretty good. My channel, What the Wild Things Do. Let's see. Choir Boys is a really good knife channel. If you're Orthodox Christian, Orthodox Meme Squad is an excellent channel. Let's see. Oh, this dude, I can't pronounce his name. This kid is brilliant. Uh, his name is What If All Fist. You know, try to write that down, rewind this, get a pen, whatever. What If All Fist, whatever. Dr. Victor Davis Hanson is really brilliant too. I remember Donnie Laws. What was that about? I forget. If you're Orthodox, Father Moses is really good, dude. I'm not like that holy of a person. I'm not a family man or stuff like that. But that dude will whip my ass, Father Moses. Let's see. My Romanian friend would tell me to tell you guys if you want to support, if anybody out there is Orthodox and wants to support a growing monastery in Appalachia, Holy Cross Monastery of West Virginia, please support them. And shout out to my friend Isaac out there, wherever you are. He's probably, want to think positive. Donnie B All Day is a great knife channel. I'm into hunting knives, guys, because I live in California, and that's my like self-defense EDC. That's the most legal thing here for, in my opinion, the best for you know, whatever I was just saying, off-topic show. Nick Freitas. He don't even look Hispanic. Christian Warrior Training is pretty good. If you're into martial arts, the best channel of our time. I don't care whoever disagrees with me would get their ass whooped. The Modern Martial Artist is the best martial art channel of all freaking time. I can't right now. I think that's it. Oh, Choco Bushcraft. Shout out to him. He's the reason I didn't really go buy the SE Hunglis, because the Tops Armageddon knife, in my opinion, outperformed it. That's a long story, guys. Kentucky Ballistics, that guy is awesome. This cat, man, this guy's this cat is like controversial, and he gets a lot of hate and shade, but this guy, man, I can tell. I grew up around older cats like him. This dude's I'm a really old millennial. He's an authentic Gen X. I can tell that guy's been in wars, because he's benevolent, but he has no fucking chill to a hubris. Like, that dude really needs, like, I hope to God, like, he doesn't get a fucking heart attack, man. War Child. His name's like Jason Mowat or whatever. Because I'm trying to get into training in Bowie knives. I don't have time for it, but it's just a thing to do, man. This is trying to always do it something. Stoker Matic is a badass dude. I remember American Outlaw was Paul Harrell is very legendary. What else is a really good channel? I'm kind of speeding it up because I got to get going. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I might need to slow down later and go more in depth if people are interested in this thing. But anyways, guys, did anybody write anything? No. So anyways, guys, I hope it was fun or whatever. So this was just me clearing some things. I have to because my crazy ass, you could call me immature or childish for daydreaming about shit like this too much. I need to rig this. I need to re-rig my piece for that was a dummy shell. I need to re-rig this with some more birdshot because purportedly that's better a better defense against drones, but preferably in a full choke. This isn't a full choke, to be honest. So for all I know, it might be more. Anyways, if anybody's watching and you know for sure, and you know how to find the information, if you have a smooth bore barrel, what is better for defense against drone war? What is better for drone warfare if you have a smooth bore barrel at about 18, 20 inches barrel with the freaking not a choke, fucking smooth bore. What's the best for drone defense? Should you just stick to double aught buck, and will you get less range than if you had I forget the extension because I only care about defense. What's the hunting? The hunting's like the hunting barrel is like a 24-inch barrel. So like if you had a 24-inch barrel smooth bore with birdshot, does that suffice, or do you nearly need a full choke to combat drones effectively or safely? And with a full choke barrel, you are limiting yourself to no longer be able to carry slugs on your person. So now you have a disadvantage if you get into a different altercation where slugs would be more pertinent or favorable. So anyways, guys, I need to go drink some coffee. I'm welcome aboard. Happy New Year. God bless America, and keep on rocking in the free world. I got to take off, fellas. Take care. Let me see if I can even shut this off.